We're talking about learning by association. We call that classical learning or classical conditioning. And you may remember at some point in your school hearing about Pavlov's dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And the association of the bell or the buzzer with the food coming. And with association, that's simply all it is. That's what I'm doing right now, is my presence is associated with cheese falling from the sky. Okay, so that is helping set his emotional reaction to my presence. The other way dogs learn is through consequence, and that's what we call operant conditioning. B.F. Skinner gave it that name. And you may have read about Skinner and a lot of trials he did with rats and monkeys and different creatures. He did it, back in the early 1900s, and over his lifetime, he changed quite a bit the way he trained, but he used both punishment, positive punishment, and positive reinforcement. So when we say the dog learns by consequence, it means they learn that they can do something that results in either something good happening or something bad happening. And so in modern training, we use positive reinforcement. And when I say positive, I'm talking about think of it as mathematical. So we add a reinforcer as positive reinforcement. Traditional dog training used a lot of positive punishment. In other words, they added a punishment when the dog did something that they weren't supposed to do. Negative, in the case of reinforcement and punishment, is so negative reinforcement, it's still reinforcement, but what you're doing is you're removing something from the situation that the dog doesn't like. So the best example of that, the dog is pulling on his leash to get to another person. What you want to do is reinforce when he stops pulling, right? So when he stops pulling, you let the leash go and he can go to the other person. That's negative reinforcement. That's taking away that restraint that the dog doesn't like. And I will send you some reading on this. You can look over it. You can learn as much or as little, as you want about it. But understanding the concepts, I think, will help you far beyond the time you spend with me throughout the life that Ollie's going to have with you. I'm going to